What's going on, everybody? Come on in this room. What's going on? What's going on, YouTube? Hi, Zoom. What's going on? I want you to listen to this. Come on in this room. It's Wellness Wednesday. That's what we're going to do. Hold on, listen. In the beginning of the track, it said, indict, send them killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is crooked as hell. I love it. Shout out to Quinn 100 for that track, Conspiracy Theory. Make sure you check it out. What's going on, everybody? You already know. It's LadyCEO, and today is Wellness Wednesday. Yes, come on in this room. Come on in this room. All right. So, it's going to be a bit of a spin, but not really. It's really not a spin. It's perfect timing for this type of wellness talk today with LadyCEO, y'all. So listen, today's topic, we're going to get talking about how we can't breathe and how we can stay well, get well with learning how we've been suffocated by our oppressors over centuries and centuries and centuries, and how we can identify ways of their modern day suffocation right now. How it's happening right now. Okay? So if you're interested in finding out how you can continue to breathe, or how you can just change that whole narrative from I can't breathe, because we're going to breathe up in here. We're going to breathe. We're going to breathe. So I just want you guys to check out a few hashtags. Okay? So we got hashtag Black Liberation, hashtag I can't breathe, hashtag surviving COVID-19, hashtag keep our foot on their neck. Okay? Yes, they neck. Keep your foot on their neck. All right? And one more that's not up here is Black Lives Matter. Shout out to those ladies for putting together that organization. I want you guys to make sure that you are particularly following these hashtags if you are following me, right? Like I said, today we're going to be talking about how we can breathe better and identifying ways that we've been suffocating, being suffocated for centuries, okay? So our ancestors couldn't breathe for centuries. Will we fall into the same path? I say no. My answer is no. I'm just one little body out here in the whole entire world in this area of Richmond, Virginia. And if I got to say so, I say no. We gonna be well up in here, okay? Now, to breathe, let's identify what breath is. Let's identify how important being able to breathe is. Breath is spirit. It's your spirit that dwells inside of you. Let me see if I can pull my paper from here, okay? Breath is spirit. It's the spirit that dwells inside of you. Now, the facts surrounding how important breathing is when you are feeling uptight. You understand what I'm saying? You have an anxiety attack. What's the first thing people tell you to do? Take a deep breath, right? If you got to clear your thoughts, things are unclear to you. What's the first thing you do? You stop, you breathe, you get it together. You understand what I'm saying? Breathing is essential. In meditation, right? The first thing to prepare in meditation to begin receiving, you have to do what? Breathe. You understand what I'm saying? So breathing is the closest ability to your soul. Breathing in that prana energy is where you receive your ultimate energy from the universe, everything that you are. Breathing is utmost essential. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I can't breathe. It's almost a direct call for us to get into Black liberation. We have to be liberated from this suffocation. That's just one thing. Because for over centuries and centuries and centuries, our people couldn't breathe since they got off the boat. Crammed us into that boat. You can't breathe up in there. Hung us up on noose. You can't breathe when you in a noose. You understand what I'm saying? Beat us up, strangling us. We can't breathe. I can't breathe. And here in modern day society, we've had countless situations where we viewed videotapes and heard audio of people saying, what? I can't breathe because they're being suffocated on the neck. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. We hear our people calling for their families. Those are sacrifices, modern day sacrifices to get our attention and make us recognize how long we've been being suffocated, how long we've not been able to breathe properly, how long we have not been in a well state at all. Today marks the first day we're going to identify everything we need to do to be well. Because we're going to start breathing up here. Deep breath right now. Take a deep breath in your nose and out through your mouth. I want you to, when you're breathing in through your nose, deep to the bottom of your stomach, I want you to think liberation, Black liberation. Okay? Blow it out. One more. Blow it out. Blow it all out too. Make sure it permeates your whole entire your breathing. Breathe in Black liberation. Blow it out. Today marks the first day that we're going to be well. I can't breathe is the hashtag we're going to follow. And we're going to take that as a direct call for help, a direct move for a revolution. In the Bible, if you want to be, since they wanted to use the Bible against us, let's go ahead and let them. Okay? Because in that Bible, it says that slavery was going to last 400 years. It's been over 400 years. Time to be well. Time to fight. Now, Black liberation, I can't breathe, surviving COVID-19, keep our feet on their neck. Make sure you following all of those hashtags right there. And I also want to mention something that Martin Luther King had said to us about darkness not being able to drive out darkness. I'm going to turn you around right here. And it takes light to drive out darkness. Okay? Now, the misconception that our people have from spiritual texts and people who came together on our behalf to start a revolution, get a revolution going. We have this misconception that even Jesus allowed people to walk over him. That he just said, I'll pray for them. We have this misconception. I hope you guys tune into Bible Study in the Hood too, because we break it down, Bible Study in the Hood, and we identify that it's not taking anything from anybody else, but we identify that Black people are the chosen people. And we identify how every nationality, every race, except for the European, is a direct descendant of African American lineage, Black lineage. And today I want to make sure that you guys definitely understand that that hashtag I can't breathe has been something we've been going through as a people since the beginning of time, since the beginning of oppression, since the very beginning. And today, this year, stops it. If we have an opportunity to globally come together as we've been doing in these riots, then we have an opportunity amongst us to bind together. And for me, I say a lot, I've been saying lately that the revolution will be feminized. And I know that feminizing, as well as a lot of other of our terms that we tend to use in modern day society, a lot of our terminology has become tainted and distorted, turned around. So when we say things like spirituality or church or ministry or feminization or even the swastika, the X that Hitler used, flipped it around and used it for our demise. Everything I'm out to get back. I'm out to get back every sign and symbol, math, status. I'm looking forward to get back everything that they stole from us. If I'm going to be one of the leaders that stand up, I'm not going to stand up and half step. I am going to make sure that we don't leave out a thing. I want to make sure that we have a understanding that simply because they're talking about indicting, bringing up charges on these police officers that committed the murder to George Floyd, I want to let you understand that there are still laws in place, written in stone, that protects officers in the future. And until those laws are changed, until those laws in stone, written in stone, are changed, this is going to repeat itself as it has been done. It is up to us to dig even deeper into these situations in order to bring forth a revolution and not just reform. They've been reforming us for centuries. We have yet to seek revolution. And that's where we need to begin now. So I say the revolution will be feminized in Richmond, Virginia. And I will be one of the women who lead it. So I'm asking you to join me. I don't want to be mayor. I don't want to be mayor. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be famous. I want to be free. I want my people to be free. Free from modern day oppression and lynchings and racism and poverty. I stand for Black liberation, and I'm not anti anything. I'm not. But as you can tell by the color of my skin, I'm a brown girl. I'm a little red, but definitely Black girl magic permeates my being. And this is my legacy that I'm building. And I encourage you to rep your legacy and build yours as well. But most of all, we need unity. Unity as a Black race. We need togetherness to fight this fight. We all suffer as quote unquote Black minorities, and together we can rise. If you hear me today and you are not Black, brown, or yellow, even still, I thank you. I thank you even still. Thank you for standing with us during these times that you have been. And while I have you, I must keep it real and say, if you're here to infiltrate, you will be found out about. And if you are the ops, we will find out. So please save us the hassle and let this be the last time you view us. And I'm speaking to you as one of the leaders here in Richmond, Virginia. I can't speak to you as one of the leaders of anywhere else in the DMV, but one of these leaders coming straight out of Richmond, Virginia. Goodbye. If you're here to infiltrate and not bring us resources, services, and opportunities that can befit us. All right? But to our allies, we welcome you to the revolution. All right? We are pioneers of the 21st century. We do not need sympathy, but we receive your genuine support and unconditional resources and advice. So let's fight. Let me apologize for our brothers and sisters who still give you a hard time during this time. We are just hurt and we don't really know who to trust. Some of our great grands have told us stories about decades ago that still affect us today, and some of us don't know how to compartmentalize what happened versus where we are. So we ask our allies, that you be compassionate. And please let me know in particular if you have any issues so I can have one of us reach out to them, whoever is causing you strife, and address the issues as needed. That's another thing. We need to start forming our own police, Black people here in Richmond, Virginia. Throughout the DMV, I'm speaking to you too, but other leaders like Dr. Zoe, she stands up for DC. Here in Richmond, Virginia, we need to start forming our own police so we can police our people in situations, police our own projects to make sure we keep them safe as we start implementing these other phases in the revolution. As we continue to start resources and etc. for our people, we are simultaneously creating the revolution agenda. This takes planning, strategy, science, spirituality, and education. It takes everybody. It takes everybody. We need brave leaders and wisdom-filled elders as well to create the foundation. Our next broadcast will be to rally the community into positions. Until then, don't get too comfortable with the lollipops they're giving us, like letting us know that police are going to be indicted finally for murder this year. The idea of officers being tried and etc., they've already showed us their true colors in RBA when they ambushed us Monday, June 1st, 2020. Do not be deceived. Keep the same energy we had. Things won't change this week, next month, or even this year, but they will if we do this right. They will on this end. The revolution will be feminized over here if Zabi has anything to do with it, AKA LadyCEO, AKA Queen X. Listen, if I got anything to do with it, and I'm down to join any other groups and alliances seeking Black liberation as well. The organization that stands behind me is called Umoja Nation. Umoja Nation. Umoja is for unity. Unity of Black people. So let's go. All right. If anybody out here listening to me right now, if you are being called as a leader here in Richmond, Virginia, whether you are a native or not, and let me be honest and say, I would love it if you were a native. That means you were born here, raised here, and been through all the struggles and know it in and out, school systems, economics, everything. But if not, if you're here, if the universe has led you here to be a leader, to help us lead, then please connect with me. I think it's about time that we create a directory here in Richmond, Virginia. I know that we have directories of Black businesses and services, but it's important that we start getting a little bit more structured in that. We got to focus a little bit more in on those resources and services so we can make sure we're solid as a Richmond, Virginia community. And then we will be able to connect with other communities as like we're doing here. Me and ZB Community 50/50 has teamed up with Dr. Zoe Spencer in Washington, D.C. This is our duty here in the DMV. Then we can connect with other individuals that are in other states and in other countries. But we have to make sure that we get us together first. This is not a game. And if you feel as though it's a game, if you feel as though, if you're one of those people looking right now and your mindset not even ready to go, then I think that you have to start viewing this situation and say if you're going to play or if you're going to stay. And we're not saying let's get driven out of America. What I'm saying is it's time for a revolution. It's time to stand up in America. It's time to stand up in the land that we built. It's time to revolutionize, forget a reform. And if you're not with it, if you're satisfied with the things that America has given you, if you're satisfied with the opportunities you're seeking, you don't want to necessarily be like your European brother and sister that you see, but you've got you've become accustomed to their opportunities, and you want them, and you want the American dream. That's fine. Stay over there, because over here we want a revolution. We want what was taken from us. We want things to be differently. We don't want more stimulus checks as hush money. We don't want more indictments after riots and no revolution, just reform. We don't want that over here. But if you're comfortable over there, then that's fine. It's time to just create the degree of separation so we can identify our body of people. Because until we do, we're doomed. We are doomed. Now, we have been threatened by a very powerful person, quote unquote powerful person. All right? The head of state, whoever they want him to be. Now, this threat pertains to our values. This is what the universe told me to tell you guys. So we retaliated by riots and standing up and protesting. And now he wants us to stop by any means necessary. The universe is saying, stay strong. Everybody is not meant to be a sacrifice. That's not your position. You scared, go over there. You need somebody to fight for you, whether you know it or not. And what we're doing is creating that body of people who are going to fight for you. So if your faith is wavered, if you're comfortable where you are, you're satisfied with what's going on, you don't want to fight, you stay over there. And over here, we're going to seek out Black liberation. We're going to get our revolution. All right? Now, the universe says stay strong, keep values intact, stand strong against our enemy, because the revolution encompasses spirituality, we taking it back. Economics, we taking it back. Education, we taking it back. Socially, we taking it back. Politics, we taking it back. That is a revolution. When we were freed, we went on about our business and created our own envision of that society being the backbone of African American, Black American, whatever we want to call ourselves, that ends up at Black, all of us, all over the place. That foundation was for us worldwide. It was supposed to grow and franchise. And they took that from us. For no reason. No reason. No reason. We couldn't breathe. They burnt our houses. They burnt our businesses. They took our children. They killed our women. They killed our men for no reason. That has been over nearly over 100 years ago. 100 years to date, just that situation. I am not going to allow my ancestors to die in vain. I am not going to be this one that comes through and lives this lifetime and die without even trying to fight. I am not going to be that one. Even if I have to stand alone, I'm going to stand. Now, can't be erratic about this thing. That's why I've been trying my best to stay scripted, because I got my own emotions that'll take me out of context, and then I'll start talking about things that matter, but not at this time. So it's important that we learn control. If you're a leader, this part is for you. It's important that we learn control, because I fly off the mouth. I talk really fast. It's easy for you to be able to miss my point, but not now. I'm refining myself. I'm reaching out to individuals so I can cultivate classrooms for people who don't know that much history. I'm still learning stuff about us. Don't be ashamed. If you a little ignorant about us and you want to get educated, we're going to have some revolutionary teach-ins available. I'm not pushing hate. I'm pushing peace amongst the people so we can seek a revolution. I'm not saying, I think that Martin Luther King said he feared that he was gonna lead our people through integration into a burning house. And I think that that's exactly what happened. I think that we became so happy with the reform they gave us to allow us to integrate into the community with Europeans, so much so that it stripped us away of our collective consciousness in the respect of collective work and responsibility, banding up with your people, having your own. I think that we were looking so much towards becoming equal with rights and politically, that the lines became blurred socially and economically. And that left space and opportunity for the enemy to continue to build on what they started. See, even welfare wasn't for us. I don't know if you tuned in to Bible study in the hood last night, but welfare wasn't even for us. Welfare came from when Europeans came from war, and they didn't have much. And then you look at places like Tulsa, Oklahoma in the north, and you see a whole world full of blacks right after slavery doing well for themselves. The system had to create an opportunity for its people, and it created welfare, and we just so happened to fall into the cracks. Education is key. I got 2 books right here that I want to make sure that you read, check out. The links are below, okay? The first book, 100% Real, 2 Sides of the Same Coin. It's by Q Jones, y'all. Q Jones III, and it says, everyone is born real. Each individual child came into this world with one pressing goal, and that goal was to survive. Okay? This is a 9-volume series, and this is volume 1 of that connection. Talks about the survivor of the realest. You know, Q Jones uses the phrase real nigga to examine the process of socialization that Black children undergo in low-income communities. Using various sources, including anecdotes from his own life, Jones shows and proves that the effects that white supremacist society has on the development of non-white children. He then goes on to utilize the same information to offer practical advice for countering the effects of white supremacy's plan. All right? Apotheosis. Judge this book by its cover. Shout out to LadyCEO for this book here, y'all. Make sure you check it out. The link is below. LadyCEO writes, it is time that we as people, as Black people, take the time to seriously look at the state of our group. We have a severe habit of avoiding the true problems we face, of seriously turning away from them and towards a symptom that mass society is more comfortable with addressing. But when one is suffering from cancer, the physician does not give them Pepto-Bismol for their vomiting and send them away. They begin a series of treatments aimed at ridding the body of the disease that has infected it. The cancer we face is a system of white supremacy, and it is malignant. We must decide how much longer we will let it fester, spreading itself cell by cell, turning the body against its own, our children against each other, our law enforcement against the citizens, before we begin an aggressive course of treatment. And aggressive it must be. If history has taught us anything, it has consistently shown that true power concedes nothing without being forced. Police brutality is but a symptom of a much more debilitating disease. Please, my people, how many more lives must we lose before we gain the confront the true problem? Are we so estranged from our history, our glorious cultures of antiquity, that we truly believe that this is the best world we can think of? Do we feel ourselves too inferior to create something better than this? Are we so afraid of losing the crumbs that we have been allowed from Master's table? What is it that is holding us back? What is it that we are afraid of? That's just the first page. Okay. And also the next study I'm getting ready to get into, because I'm autodidact. I teach myself, and what I can't teach myself, I find other people who will be able to guide me into the teachings I need. That's what our people was doing in the beginning. It's not that you don't need education. It's that you don't have to be $100,000 in debt, then work your whole life to pay something back that you're not going to finish paying anyway. You can receive your information in a total different way. This is what I'm studying now. Six key economic variables. Okay. So that's all I have for the beginning of phase 2, you guys. You're going to be seeing a lot more of me. You're going to be hearing a lot more of Emotionation. Before I let you go, I really want to let you know that Emotionation.com is, we're working out the kinks right now. It's social media for Black people, where we won't be flagged. We can say what we want. We can teach what we want to our Black people. It's not for nonsense. It's not for anything that's not going to enhance the movement of Black liberation. It's not. Like, it's not. It's one of our opportunities, one of our future opportunities. Yeah, so that's it. I am Queen X. I want to make sure that you guys stay connected to me. Like I said, I don't want to be famous. I want to be free. And if you're coming over here to this team that we building together of leaders in Richmond, Virginia, it's not about being famous. It's about being free. Okay? So I love you. I was gonna let you guys listen to the rest of Queen 100. In the beginning of it, if you missed it, it says, in the beginning of that song that's in the status, it says, indict, send them killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is crooked as hell. I say indict. So I like that song. I always try to come and bring you some music, uplift your spirits. And music is a part of our energy. It's a part of our very existence. We're the creators of music. So I love you guys. Make sure you stay connected. Emotionation for the team. Shout out to every leader out here in the DMV area. I cannot wait to meet you if it's divinely orchestrated for us to meet. We're still taking resources in phase 1. We're preparing resources, natural resources, to help us prepare, keep our body in top shape when it comes down to COVID-19. Don't you dare forget COVID-19. COVID-19 is actually the modern day way of suffocating us. As you can identify, attach your respiratory system, right? They got this all figured out. What we gonna do about it? Peace out.